How's it going? Anne-Marie Johnson, Martin Gottlieb, the filmmaker. Anne-Marie, the star, but also very involved in the project. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
Likewise.
Great. Tell me about where this project came from. I'm going to feature you guys up here.
Okay. Well, when you get to a certain age, it feels like so many of our friends are getting pushed out of doing what they love to do because the industry that they're in, and certainly in this industry, considers us old and gray-haired and not useful anymore. Nothing.
I can relate. I can relate.
Okay.
So just,
Yeah. No, I mean, it's so true. We talk to so many people and they feel like they're just invisible now. And the idea kind of came from thinking about that quite a bit. Started around COVID time, actually, when we were all locked up and trying to survive. And that brought on a lot of thoughts. And I had conversations with Anne-Marie about it. And it seems like looking at our industry in particular, but not exclusively, it seemed like a good thing to dive into and put it out there that, just because the industry you're in says you may be done, it doesn't mean you're done. You're done when you say you're done on your terms, and you have the power to control that. And if what you've been doing isn't working for you anymore, you can change it, and age does not matter. That's where it came from.
And Anne-Marie, how did you come to the project, and what do you think about Martin's thoughts?
Well, the script was presented to me by Martin. We worked closely together on shaping it into, not that different genders can't write for different genders, but it's always very helpful to have an authentic voice partnering with the screenwriter if it's a territory that the screenwriter may not have personal experience. And so the script was in exceptional shape when I read the first draft, and I just tweaked it a little to make sure that the POV of the female was always present, and also specifically a female of color. These types of films are rarely written for women like me. It's usually written for white women. We rarely see the trials and tribulations of a Black woman, and in case it's a Tyler Perry project, we rarely see it. So I was so excited to be asked to star in this role, because I'm never asked to do these type of roles. Mm-hmm. This is a multi-dimensional, raw, deep, honest, contained character. And my 43 years in this business has been sketch comedy, broad comedy, very, very dramatic dramas, and the extremes on both ends. And it was so nice to play such an authentic person. And full disclosure, Martin happens to be my husband. We've been together for over, 30 years.
What? What?
Yeah. You're hearing it here.
So you're together, but in separate locations.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's how you stay together for 30 years.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. But I mean, this is what I love about this story, not just the film, and we'll take a look at the trailer in a moment. But I mean, I really think the way to make authentic stories is to do them yourself, make something from nothing. Mm-hmm. I mean, to give yourself the power, you produce yourself, you green light yourself. You don't wait around for an opportunity. And it's what I always have loved about indie film is the opportunity to do that. No one is stopping you. No one says no. The only is you.
Nor were people offering Marty or offering me this type of project. I mean, there need not be a telethon for Marty and Anne-Marie. Our careers have been exceptionally blessed. But no one was knocking down my door to star in an independent film. I audition for 99% of the jobs I get. And
Wow.
so why sit around and hold a pity party? This
Right.
is a self-funded film. We sacrificed a lot. And but really, it really is the best way to express your art, where you're not beholden to someone else's agenda.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh, yeah, Martin, please elaborate.
No, I mean, I'm really kind of repeating what Anne-Marie said, and what you're alluding to is that if you have a story you want to tell, you figure out a way to fund it and get it out there, because technology today has made it so much more accessible. We have access to cameras that are not that expensive. We have access to editing equipment and software that allows us to teach ourselves how to do things at a reasonable cost, create some art, put it out there, and let it be judged, and people are going to like it or not. You can't control that. But I can tell you this, that no matter what happens, I am so proud of this film and Anne-Marie's performance and the performances of all the actors, because I feel like there's not a dishonest note in it. And that makes me proud. And I'm just excited to share it with
And
people.
just to be clear, this is not a film that was shot on a phone. This is a traditional full-length feature. The only thing that is different is it wasn't on film. We would have loved to have shot it on film, but this is a full-length theater presentation film. And we are beyond proud of this film.
Well, let's take a look at the trailer. I've got it queued up here.
Great.
And we can watch it together, and then we'll talk about it on the other side. Here we go.
Okay.
Company logo. Got to do those.
Yeah.
I have no kids. I guess you went with isolation.
And what'd you go with? Adulation?
Well, you ought to know, Aunt Joe. Like you say, it's your time has come or your time is gone.
What am I gonna tell the kids?
It's messed up. I can build anything, I can fix anything, but I can't fix my mom.
I got a call about you from this NBC pilot I submitted you on.
A network pilot? Really?
When Mom and Dad were dying,
Oh, here we go.
think about what you're doing and why.
You should do the same thing. I gotta pack.
You'll never understand what it is to love somebody more than you love yourself. You're just too selfish.
It's called survival.
Acting. It's pretty much a hobby now, you know?
This is it for her.
What's that supposed to mean?
Maybe it means you're past your expiration date.
Congratulations. I have to ask about the opening of the trailer. A lot of laurels from festivals. How did this movie play at those festivals? Obviously, you got a lot of acclaim.
I don't think there was a festival where people did not respond better than we could have imagined.
Mhm.
it strikes a chord with people. And obviously around the country, people aren't all actors or in the entertainment business. And they really responded to being at a crossroads in your life and trying to find purpose and happiness at a later age. So it was great. Anne-Marie, you can lay on top of that if you want.
I just think people get exhausted by cartoon films. And I don't mean animated films. I mean these big tent pole films with special effects and AI and, you know, all of these tools to make things cool and fast. What Martin created and directed was a film that could breathe with you and with the characters. You breathe. It allows you to take a moment and actually hear what is being said, feel what is being felt, challenge yourself. It's interesting when people walk out of the theater, and if Marty and I happen to be at the theater, they stay and talk to us for hours. It's really, sometimes we'll have Q&As, but sometimes we just happen to be there in the lobby, and we are always ushered out of the lobby because people want to share their personal experiences. We were in Portland yesterday or 2 days ago, I forget, and had a really wonderful screening in Portland at Cinema 21. And a woman in her 80s walked up to me and said, "How did you know what was going on with me?" So, and men, it's incredible how many men relate to Joe, the character. So the response has been so welcoming, and it's a relief because we could have easily produced a bomb, a stinker, but we didn't, and we're very happy.
Well, oddly, older demographic are still reliably going to theaters, but they're movies, cartoon movies. I think you know what you're talking about. A lot of too much CGI. The stakes seem and they're also filled with stereotypes and tropes, and I think audiences are tired of those. We've seen box office for those types of movies, fall for lack of interest. But it really surprises me, like having watched films on the long enough timeline that I have, the dramas were a staple in theaters. Ordinary People won Oscars. I mean, so many, like, just a good, solid drama. And I kind of feel when I look at things in the theaters, like horror films and literal cartoons and the superhero movies, but drama as a staple is kind of, where is that? That was always an anchor. It was always an anchor of a type of movie that Hollywood championed.
Well, I think this last Academy Awards kind of has reinforced what you're saying, because for Hamnet to win, was outstanding. And I think that for the foreign made films, there's still an appreciation, thank God. There's still an appreciation for good script, good dialogue, and good acting.
I want to add that there's obviously a place for what I call the spandex films, the Marvel universe. And they're entertainment. And that always reminds me of Sullivan's Travels, and that realization that people do need to laugh. They need to be entertained. And I get it. And there's an audience, and good for them. They're entertained. But as you're saying, the drama, the staple, we all have, especially in today's environment and world, we all have so much pain. And there's a community in that. And when you go to the theater and see a drama, and Anne-Marie and I will sit in the back sometimes, and we squirm because, with a comedy, people are either laughing or leaving. And with a drama, you just can't get a handle on, are people with you? Are they really in it? Or are they tuned out and you don't know because it's just so quiet? usually the gauge is when people aren't leaving, it feels good. But there's such a community effect with a drama, and we've seen that with our film. And I think it is a staple, and it's a staple that Hollywood doesn't seem to want to sink a lot of cash into, unfortunately.
And ironically, dramas are fairly cheap.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Relatively with
Yeah.
No, they are. They are.
You-
You're right. All you need, as I said before, is a great script, a great cast, and a really strong director and crew. There are no special effects. In our film was also very uplifting and inspirational, and talks to people about similar experiences in life. But there's no violence. There's no sex. It's an adult film. It's painful. It's honest. Yes. But you don't walk out of the theater just assaulted by sound and light and special images. And you just walk out of the theater. We still get emails and social media comments about, I'm still talking about this film and I saw it last month. So that's what you want. It's a huge water cooler film.
Well, it's so many changes in the industry. You mentioned AI. I think in 5 years, it's studios. If we know anything about the studios, if they can make a buck or save a buck,
Right.
they're going to do it. But even the title of the film, The Addiction of Hope, I mean, that's the actor's journey, right?
It
Like,
is.
Absolutely.
It
really,
is.
like, can you talk about that a bit? I feel like I have a lot of friends in the industry in many places, many below the line people work in those positions, and people are not working.
No,
Right.
people aren't working. And in all aspects of the entertainment industry, we do a horrible job, those of us in the industry, actually telling the truth about our industry. And when I was the vice president of the Screen Actors Guild, my main goal with all of my newsletters to the thousands of members that I represented was to tell the truth. And the overwhelming majority of those who recognize themselves as union talent are unemployed. The Screen Actors Guild itself is continually holding an unemployment rate of 95%. So, IATSE, our brother and sister unions that are associated with the entertainment industry are struggling. We are struggling, and our employers don't care. And we need to share that with the ticket buying audience. That true story needs to be shared, but this is a fantasy industry, right? So that's why with our film, The Addiction of Hope, even though the main character is an actor, she represents everyone who has felt marginalized, who has felt forced out for no reason, purely because of the one-ism that is still accepted and practiced, ageism.
Yeah.
When you have commercials that actually use the word anti-aging, just switch that out and say anti-gay, anti-black, anti-Jewish, anti-transgender. Would that even be accepted? But these cosmetic companies and other companies, anti-aging. Well, Martin he wrote a screenplay to talk about that in an honest way. And it really is a timely project.
And just building on that a little bit, and also regarding your question, hope in our business, this is, yes, it does chronicle the life of an actor, and the addiction of hope is an actor's life. But hope is, it's a wonderful thing because it pushes you out of bed and forward, and gives you something to wake up for every day. But it can also be a terrible thing because sometimes you can't hear the truth. And so you have false hope. And false hope can really push you back or hold you down. And you're stuck thinking, I'm hoping that this is going to happen, but we all know hope is not a plan. And it's important that people understand it's great to be hopeful, but also it's okay if you come to the realization that maybe what I used to do isn't working for me in the same way that it did. And it's okay to change. It's okay to pivot. So that's important.
I like what you said, Anne-Marie, about, Hollywood sells the dream, but not the reality. And I appreciate your efforts to inform everyone in SAG about what the reality is. I always feel like I talk to a lot of indie filmmakers. It's like you need 10% of that go for your dream, inspiration, that like all those platitudes. The 90% you need a lot of information.
Yes.
How do you survive? I have friends of mine that are successful actors that bartend because they're afraid that in those 6 or 9 months of the year when they're not working, they might not work again. They're they still have that kind of fear. So
it's a real fear, and that's why it's hope. Oh, I hope my phone rings. I hope I get that audition. Yeah. I hope I get a call back. I hope.
Yeah. Well, I hope people can see the movie, and by that I mean it's played festivals. Is it out? How can people see it?
We're at the end of our theatrical run. We had a really great theatrical run. It was really important to Martin and to me, but it was really important that our film be seen in a theater. So that was a great experience. We were across the country, and on or about April 7th, we're blessed to be acquired. So we'll be on the streaming platforms.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And how can people follow your work? Is there a website? Where can people get information?
So the addictionofhopefilm.com is our website. And they can follow us. We're really bad with this. And this is this is one of the things that we have to get better at is social media. And I don't know if that's an age thing or not, but we're trying to get better. We have an Instagram and a Facebook page. Yeah, that's our website right there.
That's great. I found it immediately.
Look at you.
And you can see all the things you need to know will be right there. And then on Instagram and Facebook, I think it's the Addiction of Hope Film as well. And or at the Addiction of Hope Film. Like I said, we're trying to master that. It's funny. I feel like I can make a film, but I can't post something.
That's okay. I get that same feeling. Thank you so much, Anne-Marie Martin, for talking to me today. And thanks for sharing your thoughts on your film with our audience here. Thank you.
Well,
thanks for having us to help us get the word out. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it.